What we have here today is almost an entire lineup of BMW's fully electric vehicles, they're BEV. So starting off, we have the iX3, we have the BMW iX, we have an i4 over there, and we have a very special car which I selected for today's drive, and this is it. This is the BMW i7 xDrive 60, and I'm pretty sure that you all know that I love these full-size sedans. Now, unfortunately or fortunately, I will be the one driving this car, so I wouldn't be pampered there at the rear seats. But maybe later, if my colleagues right here would love to chauffeur me around, maybe we can try that out as well. So the lucky guy for this morning would be Isaac Atienza from Go Flat Out PH. So Aiki, can you demo to us if you can get the mic?
So the i7, by the way, this is a full-size electric luxury sedan. And the doors of this car, by the way, they open automatically.
So it has sensors too, right?
Yeah. So it could actually know if there's someone beside the door and the door actually won't hit the obstacle or the person standing next to the door.
Okay, so Aiki will be pampered around in this beautiful orange-brown interior, and I'll be driving him around. So he's gonna have the privilege of being my passenger today. He's gonna get those lovely pillows, massage seats, and all that. So now we are driving the BMW i7 xDrive 60. And remember how earlier I was like, oh no, it might be unfortunate that I'll be the one driving? You know what? I'm wrong, because driving this car, despite that premier seat not being where you're seated, is still excellent. I'm seated behind the wheel right now in EDSA rush hour traffic, almost rush hour traffic, and I'm not even pissed. Usually I'd be super pissed about driving in rush hour EDSA, but not when you're driving an i7. Because when you drive this car, you even get massage seats. And I'm not talking about like a very light pressure. This is like a full-on body massage. I mean, sure, there's still no like shiatsu therapist there behind you, but this is about as close as you can ever get to something automated. It is just really, really amazing. This car, of course, being an electric vehicle, is also incredibly quiet. But I think even if this is just a 735i, for example, it's still gonna be pretty quiet as it is, because the noise insulation in here is just top notch. I mean, we are on EDSA. There's a lot of like diesel trucks around us, light commercial vehicles, but you barely hear any of them. That aside, the main purpose of this drive is really to demonstrate that when you buy an electric vehicle, when you buy a BMW BEV, you can still take it out of town and not worry about it. So in today's video, we're going to be driving all the way to Silang, Cavite, to Trattoria Mario Mio. Anyway, we started off from BMW Green Hills in Connecticut Street. We had about 97% of charge when we left, and our range started at 417 kilometers. But right now, the computer kind of calibrated, and we are now here near Jupiter along EDSA, and it's returning 95% of charge and 392 kilometers of range. So yes, this is surely more than enough to get to Silang, Cavite. In fact, you want to take this to Baguio, that shouldn't be a problem either. Also, all this time, as you can see, Aiki is right there at the back, and he's enjoying it so much. And not only that, he's actually working right now. He has his laptop on his lap, and he still has, what, tons of legroom. Aiki, how much legroom do you have right there?
I have a lot of legroom, actually.
Like a foot of legroom?
Legroom.
Yeah, that's about a foot. He has about more than 12 inches of legroom. So you can comfortably work in an i7 while receiving a massage function too, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
There we go. Because of our neighborhood geek, Aiki was telling us about the BMW iconic sounds. And who made it? Hans Zimmer. So when you step on the accelerator right here, it makes this pretty cool sound. Yeah? I can't tell if that's like an orchestra sound or if it's some futuristic spaceship sound, but it really does make your drive a little bit less boring, especially since these electric vehicles don't really have any exhaust note. Okay, reporting time. So we are now near the Philinvest exit at SLEX, and we are now at 460 kilometers of range, and we are at 91% charge. And this is what I really like about these BMWs. So when you change your driving habits and when road conditions change, usually in a lot of cars, By the time you get to your destination, it hasn't even calculated properly yet. But for BMWs, they calculate on the fly super quickly. So you get a very accurate representation of your current range given your current road conditions and driving habits. One super big part of an electric vehicle driving experience is just the instant torque that it provides you. But given the fact that we are in a full-size luxury sedan, you might expect not to feel much of it, right? Well, wrong. You see, this BMW i7 xDrive 60 has a dual motor setup, and your total output is at 544 horsepower and 745 newton meters of torque. So what that translates to is that when you are here on the highway, for example, and you just step on it, you just floor it, this is what happens to you. You get kicked back to your seat, and it still handles surprisingly well. We're here now, so we're here at the Trattoria Mario Mio, and we still have 80% of charge and 403 kilometers of range, which means that we've only consumed 18% of battery life in this, I don't know how many kilometer drive, I'll put it down below. And yet we were driving like hooligans throughout the entire time. So this really proves that getting an electric vehicle doesn't really detract from any sort of driving experience. All you have to do is to select the right one. And if you get the BMW, I wouldn't say it's the best choice. I haven't had enough time with this vehicle and other electric vehicles to give you that exact conclusion, but what I can say is this is going to be a pretty good choice. So while we're here, let's just do a quick walk around of the BMW i7 xDrive 60. Don't worry, we will still be making a full review on this car, hopefully if BMW lends it to us. So starting off with the exterior, I really love how, unlike its main competitor, Mercedes-Benz, they really put a big difference per model. So the 7 Series, for example, doesn't really look too much like a 3 Series, and a 5 Series, it has its own very distinct styling cue. And with that styling cue includes the massive grills, which are honestly a little bit too massive, very unique headlights, and 21-inch rims here on the side. You'll also notice just how long this car is, and if you're gonna ask me if this is a long wheelbase or a short wheelbase, well, worldwide you can only get it in one standard wheelbase now, and as it is really long. Now, what's pretty amazing about the 7 Series is you can do this for all the doors, by the way. Just press this button right here, you move away from the doors, and then it will open by itself. So the same thing happens for when you are inside. That can also close automatically. Now that we're inside here, again, usually I check the door thud, but since this has automatic doors with a soft close function tool, let me just do that. See, hands-free, it closes by itself. Amazing. Inside here, you have a super plush interior. I'm talking about all the leather. Even here on the dashboard, you have a heads-up display. You have a huge 2-spoke steering wheel. You have the latest curved display from BMW running iDrive 8. Slightly hard to use, honestly. This does get ADAS features too, but a lot of the buttons that you would usually have for your ADAS functions, you do have to go into your infotainment screen to access them, which is kind of weird. Now, very minimalist design. There's a lot of these crystals on it too. Even the shifter and this center scroll wheel for your iDrive system, they're all in this crystal form. You have a wireless charging pad, and you have a big sun blind on the top. No, that is not a sun roof. That doesn't open. Only the blinds open and close. Now, for the back seats of the 7 Series, given that it is a full-size luxury sedan, you can expect the best and only the best in terms of space. The only thing that can really beat this would be the likes of its own bigger brother, the Rolls-Royce Ghost, and the Phantom. And back here, you're free to move around and do whatever you want, including control pretty much everything in this car. So you have this like small, like phone-like thing by your right-hand side, and you can control your blinds. Even these sun blinds, you can all control it through this center screen. You want to move the seat forward and give you more space, you can also do it from here. You want to control your infotainment system, you can do that too. And what I love about these rear seats, not only can you recline, but it even comes with a pillow too, as well as the aforementioned massage function that we got to enjoy when we were driving this vehicle. Alright, so we are now on our way back to RSA Motors Green Hills, and Aiki so far is doing an excellent job of being a chauffeur, albeit one that's a little bit too in love with his quote-unquote boss's vehicle. He's having a little bit too much fun with it. No complaints though, I am enjoying all the power and all the acceleration of the BMW i7 xDrive 60
all the while being super comfortable in the back seats. Again, look at the space I have back here. Now, I'm only 5'6" short, but I really hate the feeling of any part of my feet or my legs touching the front seat. So with that front seat in its normal position, it just ever so slightly touches. But I just go into this tiny control panel that I have on my right hand side, and I simply move that front seat forward. And it's a very simple process. I can do everything from the recline to the sliding. I can even control the headrest for some reason, which lets me cross my legs just like this. So this turns into a supremely excellent place to relax in. Earlier, Aiki was working on his laptop. If I had my own laptop, I personally use a MacBook Pro 16-inch, which is pretty huge, but I have more than enough space here to fully open my screen. If I want a little bit more light in here, I will open this sun blind, but I won't do that now since it feels like 40 plus degrees Celsius here in Manila right now. And what else? I have a sun blind on the side too. I am still enjoying the massage function. I have my own wireless charging pad. And this is even cooled, by the way. There's like a fan inside, which makes sure that your phone doesn't overheat, which is a usual problem with these wireless charging pads. Now, if you're gonna ask me again, how much does this car cost? Well, it's gonna set you back a pretty healthy 10 million plus pesos. But remember, you have 540 plus horsepower and 745 Newton meters of torque. Is that worth 10 million? I really do think so. So stay tuned for the full review on this vehicle, which we'll hopefully be able to do very soon. I'm already trying to run my magic with BMW Philippines because I am so in love with this vehicle. And one last thing, just remember, when you get an electric vehicle, make sure you get the right electric vehicle, because not all electric vehicles are created equal. Some of them are ultimate driving machines.